Now inside the courtroom today, more surveillance footage from the intersection there of 10th and K Streets was shared, giving more of an insight into the moments before the deadly shootout.
KCRA 3's Orko Manna was in court all day and joins us from outside the courthouse now. Orko, what was the focus in the video that was shown today?
Yeah, well, Lisa, the focus in court today was on Sergio Harris. He's one of the 6 people killed, but the defense said that he was one of the people that was instrumental and pivotal in the shooting taking place. And the surveillance video that we saw shows Sergio Harris as well as his cousin Ike Harris, who was with him, walking the streets, walking near 10th and K Streets in downtown Sacramento in the early morning hours of April 3rd, 2022. When I show you some of that video now, the defense says that their theory is that someone in a black jacket talked to Sergio outside the London nightclub about a group of gang members he had beef with who were in the area, and that Sergio's mood changed. But prosecutors showed surveillance video of Sergio still greeting people even after walking past the group of men known as the Loom Squad. And in another video, the crowds are seen running away and then someone on the corner pointing an object in Sergio's direction. Sergio was a known gang member in the past, but his cousin Ike, who testified in court today, told both the defense and prosecution that while Sergio was aware of who was out that night, his mood did not change.
So he is in fact focused on that group, correct?
I wouldn't say that.
What would you say it was?
I would say he was alert and aware.
After the man in the puffy jacket had pointed out that there's Loom Squad guys down the way, obviously not in those exact words, did your cousin's demeanor change?
To me, like I said earlier, no. Because I still seen him shaking hands and greeting people.
And the 3 accused gunmen in this case, brothers Smiley and DeAndre Martin, as well as M. Tula Payton, sat quiet as all of this unfolded inside the courtroom. Their charges stem from the deaths of the 3 innocent bystanders that were killed in the shooting. Reporting live in Sacramento tonight, Orko Manna, KCRA 3 News.